I'm going to do a demo on the Comfort Twist knitting mill, and this is a little thing made by Dritz, and it's so awesome. It makes it like an I-cord. Okay, first thing, I'm just going to make a knot on the crochet hook so I can easily thread it through the machine. I just stick it down the center of the machine and it drops down to the bottom. Then the next thing, you've got a weight that's hooked on there. You take the weight off, and then I, again, just stick it through the weight. Now you can do a slip knot, or I just wrap it around and through, around the outside and through a couple times, and it just gets it so you want it, the thread to hold that weight. That's going to give you your tension. So now I'm going to pull it up here to the top. When you're, and this is all in the instructions, and there also is a book that goes along with it. To start, you want to make a knot, so you're going to start, go through one, you're going to skip one, go through one, skip one, go through one, and now you've made that knot. On the back here side is a little area that holds the thread where it needs to be. Now, I'm not going to hold my thread very tight with my left hand. I'm just kind of guiding it. And as you can see, that thread wraps around those hooks and creates a little loop that gets pulled down under, and that's part of the knitting part of it. So after it gets going, I can just do it real fast. This particular yarn had some little silky, pretty little things on it to make my little cording is going to shine a little bit. But you can see then I'm just going around, and it goes in and out of that little hook, and it's going to come out the bottom. So let me do it real fast here so I can get some to come out the bottom. You can use it. This would be a great thing for your little bit older kids, grandkids. Be fun for them to make some cording. And as you can see, it's starting to come out the bottom now. So when I get a little bit of this down there, I'm going to take this weight and I'm going to bring it up and just catch my cord. And now that'll hold it with the tension, and I can just continue on, and you can make it as long as you want. And then we're going to show you some fun projects that we've done with it here in just a little bit. Now, as far as the weight of the yarn or thread you want to use, we've used number 3 pearl cotton. We've used some heavier crochet thread, used a variegated kind of yarn. You can't use anything super thick because that hole in the middle is not very wide. So you can see how pretty that is. Okay, to end your cording, you're just going to take scissors and cut your yarn thread, and then you're going to hold the weight so it doesn't just fall down, and you're just going to work the cording off of the hooks so it comes down, and then you get it's going to have the 4 little loops that were made by those hooks. Again, I'm going to take my crochet hook, or you can take a needle, a big needle if you want, and I just go through each of those loops, and I'm going to create a knot at the end. Whoops. And the last one. And pull it through, and it ends just like it kind of started. You can pull it out of your tension disc, and then you can see how the knot looks like the beginning knot. Now, what I could do is I usually trim those off, not totally to the end, but trim them off, and now they're ready to do all kinds of fun things with your cording. Let me just show you a few things. There's a fun book that goes with this. It's called French Knitting, and it has all kinds of fun projects in it that you can use wire, or you can put it on bags, totes, shirts, spell your kids' names, all kinds of fun things. So over here we have, I made a cute shoestrings. Wouldn't that be cute for Christmas? Or think of your kids' school colors. Here's what the thread looks like with the pearl cotton. It's a looser weave, but it's still very pretty. Here I added 2 colors of pearl cotton and it got thicker. Again, school colors, that'd be fun for shoestrings for your kids. We had some pretty yarn. Again, you can see that this is pretty thin, made a pretty one. This yarn is a little thicker. It made it a little thicker. Here, we've made some cute ghost. Isn't that just adorable? In the book, it shows how to make a fox pillow. And here we've made a heart. We've made a star with adding wire in there. And then my project I'm going to show you next will be a pillow. Okay, what I've done here, this is just a kind of a linen fabric, and I've drawn with a pen that'll erase with heat, and I've drawn a pumpkin. And what I've done then is I've cut some of my cording, I-cord, into pieces, made my little knot just as I showed you before. And what I'm going to do is just lay this down and probably get some glue, and I'm going to lay it down and make my little pumpkin shape. It's going to be so cute as a pillow. And then I'm going to just stitch with a single stitch on my sewing machine. So I'll show you that in a minute. Okay. All right, so here I am. I'm going to draw the line. Usually you can glue, like with this is like a Roxanne's glue, or you can use just an Elmer's glue or a Soline glue, any type of glue. I found that I'm just as easy for me just to lay it down and just stitch and guide it. So don't worry about your tail when you're starting. Just kind of put it right down there, and then you're going to lower your presser foot. And I'm just going to guide with my left hand and my right hand, and I'm just doing a straight stitch. So I'm going to go a little bit, and then I'm going to guide it where I want it to be. This is going to be a pumpkin, so it's going to be a little round around the edges. And then I can just keep going and going and going and going. Don't tug on the cord. You're not pulling it or pushing it. This is, again, that fuzzy part. I cut those off every once in a while, but it kind of gives it a little bit of oomph at the end. Okay, so I would continue going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and you can see how you really can't see that stitch down. Okay, so I started in the middle here, and I went up and down and round and round and round, and now I'm ready to finish. So I'm going to show you how I can finish it. So we'll start back up here where I ended. And I think I'm going to, again, this is where you kind of do your own little design. I think I'm going to come down here and end it. So I'm going to sew a little bit, and then I'm going to cut that off. And remember how easy it was just to cut it off. And of course I did not bring my crochet hook down, but I'm just going to tie that knot. And I'm going to stitch over it, and then I'm going to kind of push that back up over itself. Can you kind of see that? Mm-hmm. And I'll probably back stitch a little bit right there. Then I'm going to come in and do a little trim and a little trim, and I might go back over that again when I do this next row of my pumpkins. I might go back over that just a little bit. And that's as easy as it is. Pretty cool. Here's a pillow that one of the girls at work, Jessie, made. And you can see she doubled some of the area. So here's like this right here is a tiny little piece. So she made that L look thicker. Here's where she's made the E look a little thicker. So she did the original, and then she came back in with another little piece. So it's super, again, she did a straight stitch. She either used invisible thread or this pink thread. Isn't that cool? All right, have fun.